Jesus knows, God knows. You're not fooling God. You fools, God knows what's on the outside and on the inside. You might look really nice on Sunday morning. God knows what you're like when you're home. You're not tricking him. Woe to you. The second question to ask is, do you major on the minors while neglecting what really matters? Do you major on the minors while neglecting what really matters? Verse 42, Jesus warned, you tithe mint and rue and every herb and neglect justice and the love of God. The Pharisees were meticulous, right, in tithing even the tiniest of herbs, but they ignored the bigger things like compassion and justice and love of God. Remember verse 39, their hearts, Jesus isn't deceived, their hearts are full of greed, and they lack generosity towards the poor. Listen, they're counting every leaf, every little leaf of the tiniest herbs. They're counting and tithing, but they're not defending the weak. They're not protecting the poor. They're not helping the widows. They're not adopting orphans. And Jesus is like, you're missing it. You're majoring on the minors, and you're completely missing what really, really matters. Again, we do this, right? Maybe you avoid secular music, but you don't think twice about speaking harshly to your spouse or your children. Maybe you never drink alcohol, but you freely indulge in gossip and slander.
Right.
Maybe you insist on formal attire for church, but you show a little reverence for God when you're home. Maybe you passionately defend Christian traditions, but you're not pursuing personal holiness. Maybe you nitpick doctrinal differences, but you neglect love and kindness and compassion. Maybe you refuse to watch R-rated movies, but inwardly you're harboring bitterness and unforgiveness. Maybe you insist that worship music has to sound a certain way, but rarely do you even worship God in spirit and in truth. Maybe you never miss communion, but again, you're holding a grudge and bitterness in your heart. That's majoring on the minors. That's what Jesus would call swallowing the camel and straining it